And then she walked straight out of the front door, letting it slam shut behind her, and he let out a brief sigh. Elizabeth went out most days to hang out with her friends from school around town. Today, you were extra glad for it, though you were also grateful that she hadn't left the house any sooner and risked running into Cove. It looked like you were getting away with that. Breakfast was eaten in peace and alone. Your mums were both out by the time you have gotten up. They had left. They have left you a serving of food from the breakfast they made. Hash browns, an omelette, fruit salad, and was a few sausage links. That's nice of them. You took a bit of everything. You passed on some parts because they weren't things you liked. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid meat. You passed on some parts because you were trying to avoid animal products. I find it very interesting, even simple choices like these can actually change the entire theme of the story, which is why I like to go as the most authentic choices that I would usually make. I'll take a bit of everything. I mean, I do that at breakfast buffets as well, to be honest. Full English, I'm taking a bit of everything. It was tasty. You appreciated that there was a variety in the meals your mums made. The day lazily drifted by at home, and eventually your parents returned. You pulled open the fridge again, lingering on the frosty air for a moment or two, before grabbing a bottle of ice-cold water and taking a long drink. It was a perfect, balmy summer afternoon, and you decided to head outdoors and find something to do. You hadn't decided what that something was just yet, but you were sure something would pop up to occupy your time. As you were heading out the front door, you paused for a moment. You hadn't seen Cove since he had left that morning, and you couldn't help but think about what had happened to him. Would he be bad to go to his house right now, or to call him to check in? You stepped outside your house, still stuck in eternal debate with yourself, when a voice caught your attention.
Hi.
Hi, Lani. Confused, you looked over to where an unrecognisable woman was waving at you, a friendly smile plastered on her face. You racked your memory from where you might have seen her before, but nothing came to mind. Not your school, or from the country club your mums took you to. You had absolutely no idea who the woman was. The woman crossed the road towards you, and you were a little unsure whether you should stay put or go back into the house and lock the door. Oops, I'm sorry. Was that presumptuous? I heard about you, but you had no idea who I am, do you? You shook your head. No, I don't. And she moved her sunglasses to reveal sparkly ocean blue eyes. All of a sudden, she seemed a little bit more familiar. My son here lives here too, and my ex too. So Cove's mum then. Looking great. With a bent smile, she lifted her hand to point at the condo across the street from your own house. She was Cove's mum. You didn't know why you hadn't realised sooner now, but you got a good look at her. She seemed nice, she seemed sort of strange. We can't guess that yet, it's only a few seconds. That's what I thought. That's generally what I thought. It was almost hard to believe that she had a 13-year-old kid. No matter your thoughts on her, you still felt taken aback that she had appeared here so suddenly. Cole mentioned she was coming, but you haven't got the impression it would be the very next day. She extended her hand again, this time for you to take, and you studied the manicured fingers on the front of your face and the assortment of bracelets that dangle from her wrists. Well, she's got her own fashion style. It looks bohemian, I think, from what I'm seeing here, bohemian or boohoo fashion, and it looks pretty good. I'm Kyra Pierce. Sorry, I'm gonna. Sometimes I mess up names. I'm Kyra Priest. You can call me Kyra. You shook her hand. You reached out and took her hand as she shook yours firmly, grinning wide. I'm Lani, but you already know that.
That I do.
That I do. Cove's mentioned you to me before. It's nice to officially meet you, Lani. Cove talked to you about his mum. He hadn't mentioned how he said things about you to her. What has Cove said about me? What you doing here? Nice to meet you too. You kept quiet. I'm curious. Oh, I can't tell you that. Oh, at least I tried. Oh, I can't tell you that. I already said too much. She laughed good-naturedly. You couldn't be happy about that answer, though. The sound of a door opening and closing caught both your attentions, and when you turned around towards the sound, it was to find Cove exiting his house, his eyes skimming the ground. Considering just how tall he had grown, you kind of figured his mum also would have grown tall. No, not exactly. Some kids could overgrow their parents in height, but she was much more on the short side for an adult. And anyway, Cove's height must have come from his father.
My baby.
There you are. I thought you were going to keep me standing out here all day. You tried to catch Cove's eye as he walked towards you, but his gaze was firmly fixed on the sidewalk. When he finally crossed the road and looked up, he gave you a pitiful look. After the way he had acted last night, you knew you must be feeling pretty mixed up about this. You tried to wordlessly express that you understood. Cove and I were heading into town to grab something to eat while the snore is at work. Kyra beamed at Cove and ruffled his hair, which only seemed to upset him more. You assumed the snore she was talking about was Mr. Holden. Hey, you should come with us, Lani. I'd love to get to know you better. Yeah, you should come. He seems quite eager. There was a pleading in his tone that you couldn't miss. Of course, we'll run it by your parents first. Responsibility and all that.
Any whoosies.
It will give me an excuse to meet them, which I need to do at some point. It's important to be neighbourly if I'm going to be roosting on this street for the time being. Any whoosies, that's an interesting word. Let's go. Kaya walked ahead towards your house, and you hung back with Cove, who crinkled his nose as he watched her.
Sorry.
I'm sorry about her, but I really do need you to come. I don't want it to be just the two of us. Not right now. You leaned in closer and whispered while checking around for anyone who might hear. What happened? Did your dad know you were gone? Cove shook his head and sighed heavily. Dad was focused on Mum showing up that he didn't even notice. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. You would have been more trouble if he did notice. I thought when I heard them on the phone last night that it was something they were planning for the future. This morning Dad said it was supposed to be a surprise, and I guess I was surprised. She's going to be here all summer. Oh. You were surprised to hear that too. Cove sighed again, even heavier. I'll go with you, if you really want me to. He smiled, his shoulders relaxing a little in relief. Thanks, that'll be cool. The two of you headed over to where Cove's mum had just knocked on the front door and stood behind her. Mum answered the door for a minute. She don't look pleased. Her eyebrows lifted in surprise at the group as she found in front of her. She either doesn't look pleased or she looks tired, which makes sense because it's just morning and she probably just woke up. However, after blinking at the woman a couple of times and looking between her and Cove, the realization seemed to strike on her. Hello there, I'm Pamela.
I see.
I see you met my kid, Lani, and I'm guessing you've already known Cove for a while. Kyra laughed, and you and Cove exchanged looks at your parents' weird sense of humour. I'm Kyra Priest, Cove's mum. It's so nice to meet you. A head of purple-brown hair caught your eyes as Ma popped up behind Mum, squeezing herself in beside her. She looked more happy to see the new person though, the one on the left. Ma, we have company. I was wondering what all the commotion was. She grinned excitedly at Kyra. The two of them introduced themselves and shook hands.
Oh.
Hi, Lani. Cove. Cove smiled at Ma shyly as she gestured her hand towards the living room. There's no use hanging around the doorway. Why don't you come in? I love to, but I promised to take my son out to eat, and I wouldn't want to hold you up with a surprise visit. Oh, I understand. You're welcome to stop by any time.
Of course.
I'll take you up on that offer when I can. Count on it. Will you my treat? We won't be driving, just a quick walk down the road. Sure, that sounds nice.
Have fun.
I hope you have fun. You gave your mums a look and he smiled at you fondly. They were happy that you were letting them go. You were annoyed they agreed just like that. I believe they know what they're doing, so they were happy. I was going to use the happy option. You can tell that Ko really needed the support and you were ready to be there for him.
Marvelous.
Marvellous. Expect us back in an hour or two. I'm sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because I was slightly mocking them. But I love the way the character said it. Marvellous. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care.